Today, I'm going to cover the entire lore of Marvel Rivals Season 7. We have lots to cover, so let's get straight into it. But before we begin, please could you leave a like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the lore. Let's get straight into it. The lore starts with our heroes coming back to New York. New York had been recovering from the eternal night that Dracula put on it back in Season 1. Well, it turns out after our heroes left to go save other timelines, Kingpin was elected as mayor of New York with the one goal of making the city a better place. All was peaceful in New York till suddenly the Alchemax HQ from 2099 started appearing in the modern day New York, which was causing surrounding buildings to change into the 2099 counterparts. Kingpin acted quickly and locked down the entire New York City and decided to put a superhero ban in effect, blaming the heroes for what is happening. And with the ban in effect, many heroes got arrested and put into the Vault, which is a high security prison. Some of these heroes that are locked up now are Captain America, Luna Snow, Punisher, Adam Warlock, and a couple more. Meanwhile, Kingpin was trying to figure out how to stop 2099 from taking over the modern New York. He was approached by someone known as Gilded Saint, who was the patron saint of Thieves Guild. The Gilded Saint is a very powerful cosmic being known for making trade deals. The Gilded Saint asked Kingpin to get the Tablet of Life and Time for him, which is basically a tablet that can heal anything and make someone reach their peak potential. At first, Kingpin straight up refuses the deal, but as soon as the Gilded Saint threatens to take over New York, Kingpin has no choice but to cooperate with him. Cutting back from our main story quickly, we need to look at White Fox's first lore entry, as it explains a very key point for not only the Season 7 story, but as for the rival story as a whole. White Fox decided to meet up with Iron Fist as she hadn't seen him in ages. Turns out Iron Fist actually became Lin Lai after saving her life. White Fox explains to Iron Fist that the heroes are damaging the time stream entanglement. Turns out with the heroes constantly jumping through realities and saving them, the timelines are being even more damaged, which could cause an incursion. I'm going to just pause the Season 7 lore talk quickly and explain what I think may happen because of this. Since our heroes are speeding up timeline death and eventually we may get incursions or something worse, I believe that at the end of the year in December, Rivals Lore will have this massive finale where all timelines just collide with each other, which will take Doom and Doom 2099, who are the center villains, and make them playable characters. We will then get a new big bad in Rivals Lore, making the story start fresh again but better than ever. Another thing to back up my theory is that with Avengers Doomsday releasing in December and with the Rivals Path to Doomsday getting its final mode, I feel like it's possible we see Doom actually becoming a playable character and finishing his arc in the story for now. But let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. Anyways, moving back to the main story now. Iron Fist strongly disagrees with White Fox, saying we needed every hero possible to help defeat villains like Ultron, Null, or even the Collector. White Fox then decides to give Iron Fist a gift, which has the last piece of the Sword of Fu Xi wrapped in a cloth. The sword isn't that important for the lore currently, so I'll not be explaining that in this video. They both leave on good terms. White Fox has a division known as the Tiger Division, which is how she figured out about the timelines being destroyed. Not only did White Fox find that out, but also S.H.I.E.L.D. as well through the S.H.I.E.L.D. data. So White Fox decided to offer help to Kingpin, offering him agents from Krakoa to come into New York and help fix this mess. Kingpin denies it and instead carries on the arrest process of superheroes. I've already mentioned the names earlier before that he arrested, but it turns out that after White Fox realizes that Kingpin locked up Luna Snow, who was also a member of her Tiger Division, she knew she had to act now. They said the remaining heroes set up base at the Empire State University, and she decided to give heroes secret identities to figure out how to break the other heroes out of the vault. These heroes included Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Rocket, Spider-Man, and a lot more. And also, Spider-Man just used his normal identity as it already was a secret to everybody. Back on Kingpin's side, he tells his associate Wesley to bury explosives in the area being attacked by the timeline as a backup plan. He then finds Black Cat and speaks to her. He offers her full immunity and the District of New York to rule if she can steal the Tablet of Life and Time for him, which is in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. He states that he will not use it for his own personal good, but only to save the city. Black Cat agrees, so he gives her an artifact called the Ring of Zona, which will allow her to create portals exactly like Doctor Strange. During Black Cat's attempt to steal the tablet, she encounters White Fox. The two have a massive brawl with each other, but as soon as White Fox tells Black Cat that Kingpin has made a deal with the Gilded Saint, Black Cat decides to come up with a new plan as she knows that working with the Gilded Saint is a bad idea from past experiences. Instead, with Spider-Man's help, Black Cat decides to use the Tablet of Life and Time as a distraction to break into the vault and rescue the other heroes. In order to do this, they turn the SHIELD vehicle into a Trojan horse. On Spider-Man's second law entry, he explains that he quickly texts MJ before he's going to break the heroes out of prison. And he mentions how he's working with White Fox, but also accidentally slips and mentions to MJ he's working with Black Cat as well. Spider-Man is really focused on freeing Captain America because it turns out the Cap from the modern timeline died after saving him from a villain gang led by Green Goblin. MJ knows she can't stop either, so she just tells him to stay safe. Now moving on to Captain America's second law entry, which explains that he actually voluntarily surrendered, hoping that cooperation can help solve the issue faster. But instead, Kingpin just locks Cap up with no trial or any contact from the outside world. Another inmate in the prison known as Parker Robbins, and let's be clear, this is not Peter Parker, this is another Parker, I know it's going to sound confusing. Parker Robbins was bothering Steve and even attacked him in the cafeteria. Steve requested to be put next to him. Parker Robbins mentions to Steve that he wants power that changes the world, not like actual heroes' power, but Steve tells him he can't change the world by force. Suddenly, a prison breakout begins. Turns out that the plan the heroes on the outside made work, and the breakout had begun. Steve sees someone choking a guard and helps the guard out. The guard thanks Steve and also thanks him for surrendering willingly. Parker Robbins is enraged when he finds out that Steve surrendered himself, but they are separated when the floors collapse, leaving Parker down below. Spider-Man then appears and Steve is shocked to see that Spider-Man is behind the prison break. Spider-Man gathers all the heroes onto the SHIELD vehicle and escapes the prison with them. Meanwhile, deep in the vault, Parker Robbins found the power that he was searching for. And if you're a bit confused, Parker Robbins is also known as the Hood in the Marvel Universe. Unfortunately, while we freed the heroes, the prison break has also caused every villain that was in there to escape as well. We will get back to that later. Black Cat returns to Fisk with the Tablet of Life and Time and gives it to him. Fisk then gives it to the Gilded Saint, and the Gilded Saint removes the clone effects on the city, but the Alchemist 2099 HQ still stays in modern New York. The Gilded Saint leaves, but he finds out that the tablet is a fake and starts to plot his revenge. After successfully tricking Kingpin and the Saint, Black Cat returns to the Sanctum to put the actual Tablet of Life and Time back where it belongs. Turns out that Doom is already waiting for her there and offers her a deal of immunity for the tablet. Black Cat gives him a counter deal, saying to free the Dibs Guild from the Saint Guild's control. Doom agrees and he gets the tablet for himself and vanishes. Black Cat's first law entry explains how they actually managed to pull the plan off. Turns out that Rocket actually helped with the plan. They used the Nega Energy Replicator, which is the same device that was used to trap Null in the White Hot Room when Dream was being reborn back in Season 3, to swap the tablet out for a fake. So as Black Cat gave the tablet to Kingpin, she used the device to swap the real for a fake. Black Cat also tells Rocket about the deal she made with Doom, and while Rocket was upset by this, Black Cat says she has a gut feeling that Doom will not use it against the heroes. The two are sitting in the Empire State University basement, and as Black Cat leaves, she is stopped by someone known as Odessa Drake, a higher up member of the Thieves Guild, who thanks her for freeing them from the Sainted Guild's control and asks her to become the new Gilded Master. Meanwhile, back at Kingpin's office, he's about to set off the explosives as the 2099 effects were not all fully removed and the Alchemax HQ still remains. Daredevil then appears in the shadows, telling Fist not to do it, as it could kill thousands of innocent civilians. And can I just quickly say how much aura this one gallery card has? Anyways, Kingpin says to Daredevil the situation has got out of hand, with the vault breakout and multiple artifacts gone missing, including a cloak, a starlit mask, and a very important enchanted stone known as the Nordstone, which can boost someone's power by a lot and even allow the person to teleport and do a ton of other powerful things. Kingpin presses the button to set up the explosion, but nothing happens. Turns out that Daredevil had already disarmed the explosives. Kingpin angrily tells him to get out, but before leaving, Daredevil says to him it's time to clean up his mess, and tells him that one of the escaped prisons is Dracula. That's right, turns out back in season 1, after Dracula was defeated, Kingpin actually locked him up and has kept him in prison all this time while we've been fighting in other timelines. Honestly, I was not expecting this twist. Now, for the first time ever, the lore is going to continue in the new Blood Hunt mode. So let's get straight into it and see what happens against Dracula. After the prison breakout, Dracula managed to escape with the Nordstone, the artifact I just mentioned, and plans to put New York back into the Eternal Night. He also plans revenge against anyone who went against him. Dracula uses the power of the Nordstone to create a new army of vampires and once again plagues the streets of New York, ready to start his Eternal Night again. Meanwhile, Deadpool is sitting in his animal kingdom and realizes the news of Dracula's escape and wants to set out to help. But then he realizes that Catwolf, a werewolf version of Captain America, has escaped the Animal Kingdom and is now under Dracula's control. Back in Central Park, the Skull of Ratatoska from season 1, who we free from Dracula's reign, set up Central Park to be her new home. Dracula decides to act quickly as soon as he's freed and attacks Ratatoska. She fights back, but Dracula uses the Nordstone, which has Asgardian magic, to stop her, which is way more powerful than her, turning her into a vampire to work for him. Kingpin feels too busy after all the events that happen and realizes that the vampires are slowly starting to take over New York again. So, despite it being against his wishes, he gives the heroes the power they need to end the vampire reign once and for all and hopes he can defeat them later and gain credit. Blade, Squirrel Girl, the Punisher, Jeff the Landshark and Thor begin fighting the vampire army. They started by fighting Catwolf at Grand Station, who had become very fierce, so they were ultimately forced to subdue him. Then they entered Central Park and found Ratatoska and started to fight against her. Moon Knight came in from the sky down to Central Park to help with the battle. They managed to contain her. Doctor Strange then arrived and helped the heroes enter Dracula's castle. They used all the equipment they had to fight against the Vampire Lord. After an intense battle, Blade managed to deliver the final blow with the vampire's own sword, weakening the Nordstone and turning Dracula into stone. Before they can figure out what to do with the Nordstone, Jeff comes and swallows the entire thing whole. The heroes then are determined to hunt down any threat that still looms over the city, even considering Kingpin as one threat. Kingpin catches the heroes in Times Square and hopes they are tired enough to defeat them. He launches an attack against them, but his mistake was underestimating them because they are more than capable of putting up a fight. The end result is Kingpin being humiliated by the heroes, so he's forced to give up his role as mayor. He may return one day, but definitely not anytime soon. With Dracula defeated and Kingpin as well, we can head back to Season 7 Lord Cards to finish off the story. In a cafe in New York, two X-Men, Jean and Vogue, were sitting down talking about Fisk's defeat, but also mentioning about how the tablet had gone missing, plus the Alchemex 2099 HQ still being in present New York. Jean mentions how she misses Scott, who I'm sure you all know is Cyclops, saying she could still feel him despite being separated in another timeline. However, a mysterious figure that has the same powers of Vogue lurks in the background watching over them. That is the entire Season 7 lore of Rivals. I know that was a lot, but if you stuck around till the end, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any lore videos from me. And if you want to know everything about the next part, Season 8 lore of Rivals, then click this video right here.